Discovering Existential Intelligence, Frameworks, Measurement, and Practical Implications. It's the topic of my book. The book is already published on and available on Amazon. Um, let's dive in now in existential intelligence. In time of crisis, when the world feels uncertain, the most pressing questions often aren't logistical, they are existential. Why is this happening? What is my role? How do I move forward with meaning? Existential intelligence is the capacity to reflect deeply on life's ultimate questions: purpose, mortality, identity, and the nature of reality. It's the intelligence of meaning making, of navigating ambiguity without collapsing under it. The COVID-19 pandemic relied global interest in existential themes. Faced with widespread fear, loss, and disruption, many found themselves reevaluating their lives. During this period, existential intelligence served as a quiet but powerful guide for individuals seeking grounding amidst chaos. Those who had the capacity to reflect, reframe, and reconnect with purpose were better equipped to cope and even thrive. Existential intelligence is linked to psychological resilience. People with higher existential intelligence tend to demonstrate more emotional regulation, stronger adversity quotients, and deeper ethical reasoning. They ask not only how do I survive this, but what can I learn from this? Personal development then isn't just about acquiring skills or improving productivity. It's about expanding our ability to ask questions that matter. When we invest in cultivating existential intelligence through reflective practices, philosophical inquiry, and diverse cultural perspectives, we build inner resources that support long term well being. Not every existential question has a net solution. The value lies in grappling with the question, not necessarily in resolving it. Whether it's the meaning of suffering, the uncertainty of the future, or the reality of mortality, existential intelligence allows us to engage with life's complexities without losing our center. For most of the last century, intelligence was seen as something you could measure with a pencil, a test sheet, and a little number called IQ. It was almost like boiling intelligence down to a universal prescription. Answer these questions, get your score, and that's who you are. Simple, right? Well, not quite. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, psychologist Howard Gardner looked at this little package and thought, wait, aren't humans a bit more interesting than that? Instead of one size fits all, Gardner introduced the world to the theory of multiple intelligences. He said that intelligence is a broad landscape, not just a single mountain peak. Can you write a poem, play a violin, understand yourself deeply, or inspire others? Gardner said these too are forms of intelligence. He identified eight: linguistic, logical, mathematical, spatial, musical, bodily, kinesthetic, naturalistic, interpersonal, and intrapersonal. Suddenly, the chess master and the concert pianist were just as brilliant as the calculus whiz. But Gardner noted something else. Our schools, maybe even our whole society, tend to favor just two: linguistic and logical mathematical. If you're great at essays and equations, you get a gold star. But what about everyone else? It's like asking a fish to climb a tree and then being surprised when it doesn't win the race. Gardner's insight came from looking far beyond the traditional psychology. He drew on neuroscience, anthropology, stories of prodigies, and more. This opened the door to recognizing all sorts of unique talents as real intelligence, not just what fits on a test. Over time, even more candidates for new intelligences appeared. Gardner himself suggested one of the most fascinating: existential intelligence. This is the ability to wrestle with life's biggest questions. Why are we here? What is the meaning of love? What happens after we die? Existential intelligence invites us to go beyond the basics and really engage with the mysteries of life. It's not just abstract, it's about finding meaning and connecting with something greater than ourselves. So, next time you see someone lost in thought, painting, dancing, or reflecting on life's mysteries, remember, intelligence isn't just a number, it's a rich, diverse tapestry, each of us weaving our own thread. So, what are the hallmarks of someone with a high level of existential intelligence? Let's break down some of the main characteristics. First, these individuals are known for their deep reflection. They spend time contemplating life's biggest questions, like the purpose of existence, the nature of reality, and our own mortality. This isn't just idle daydreaming, it's a profound engagement with the mysteries that many of us only brush up against occasionally. They are also on a constant search for meaning. People high in existential intelligence don't settle for surface level answers. They want to know why things are the way they are, what their role is, and how they can contribute meaningfully to the world around them. Another defining trait is an awareness of mortality. Rather than avoiding the topic, these individuals confront the reality of death head on. This awareness often inspires them to cherish life more deeply and to live with intention and purpose. They also have a unique openness to ambiguity. Existential questions rarely come with easy answers, and these individuals are comfortable living in the gray areas. They appreciate complexity and accept that not everything in life is black and white. Critical thinking is another cornerstone. Existential intelligence is linked to strong analytical skills, the ability to think logically, evaluate complex issues, and challenge assumptions in search of deeper truths. But it's not all in the head. People with high existential intelligence tend to have profound empathy and compassion. They understand human struggles, connect with others on a deep level, and often feel a strong sense of responsibility for the well being of others. Their intellectual curiosity is endless. They are eager to explore new perspectives, read widely, and engage in philosophical discussion. New ideas excite them, especially when those ideas challenge their own beliefs. Creativity is also frequently present. Wrestling with big questions can lead to truly original thinking, new solutions, innovative projects, or creative works that inspire others. Importantly, these individuals are known for their authenticity. They strive to be true to themselves, to live according to their values, even if it means challenging social norms or standing apart from the crowd. And finally, they show a deep acceptance of finitude. They know that life is impermanent, and this shapes the way they make choices, choosing to spend their time and energy on what truly matters. It's important to remember that existential intelligence is complex. Not everyone who shows these traits will do so in the same way, and having high existential intelligence doesn't automatically lead to happiness or success. In fact, sometimes it brings its own challenge and moments of existential doubt. Throughout history, certain figures have stood out not just for their intellect, but for their unique ability to grapple with life's deepest questions. These individuals didn't just accept the world as it is. They probed its mysteries, reflected on its meaning, and inspired countless others to do the same. Take Viktor Frankl, for example. Frankl explored the search for purpose and meaning, especially through the lens of suffering. His experiences in concentration camps led him to develop logotherapy, a therapy focused on finding meaning in all forms of existence. Philosophers like Martin Heidegger and Jean-Paul Sartre took existential questions even further, reflecting on the nature of reality, human freedom, and the weight of personal responsibility. Their work still shapes philosophical discussions today. Thomas Aquinas and Soren Kierkegaard, on the other hand, wrestled with the relationship between humanity and the divine. They examined faith, reason, and the anxiety that often accompanies our search for meaning. Albert Camus, famous for his notion of the absurd, confronted the seeming pointlessness of life and yet advocated for perseverance and authenticity. Epicurus, centuries earlier, encouraged us to seek happiness and fulfillment as central goals. René Descartes brought a new perspective by investigating the mind body relationship and pondering the very essence of consciousness. His famous I think, therefore I am continues to echo in philosophy classrooms around the world. But existential intelligence isn't just about philosophers. Many religious leaders have also demonstrated this depth of insight. Buddha, Jesus Christ, Paramahansa Yogananda, Prophet Muhammad, and St. Augustine, for example, all them promoted profound reflections on truth, faith, and the ultimate purpose of life. Their teachings continue to inspire spiritual seekers everywhere. And let's not forget others. Socrates, with his relentless questioning, Plato, envisioning the world of forms, Friedrich Nietzsche, challenging conventional morality, Karl Jaspers, exploring existential communication, Simone de Beauvoir, questioning gender and freedom, and Wayne Dyer inspire millions to find purpose and self actualization. These figures, each in their own way, enriched existential thought. They didn't offer easy answers but encouraged us to embrace uncertainty, question reality, and seek our own paths toward understanding life's greatest dilemmas. For years, researchers have tried to access existential intelligence, but there are real challenges. Many existing scales overlap with measures of spiritual or religious intelligence, causing ambiguous results and muddying the waters conceptually. There's also the problem of shallow measurement. Most current tools can't capture the depth and complexity of existential reflection. To make matters more complicated, these assessments typically rely on people's self perceptions without strong methods for ensuring that the results are valid outside the test taker's own perspective. Empirical research is scarce, often based on small, non representative samples, which makes it tough to trust the conclusions. And let's not overlook the ethical and cultural dimensions. Many tools aren't sensitive to differences in worldview or background. This can lead to biased results, especially when tackling questions that are deeply personal and culturally specific. All of these highlights an urgent need. We must create better, more rigorous, and more inclusive ways to assess existential intelligence. Recent research is making headway here, connecting Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences with modern tools like digital games to foster different forms of intelligence in education. While logical, mathematical, intelligence often dominates, existential themes come to the surface, especially when games include ethical or moral dilemmas. This shows that it's possible to engage existential thinking through innovative interactive methods. We also see promising results from new studies in places like Jordan and Indonesia, where existential intelligence seems to exist across a range of demographics. Important two new scales have been proposed to address the shortcomings of traditional tools, and this is where today's big news comes in. These are two new questionnaires designed to finally measure existential intelligence with clarity, depth, and inclusivity. The Existential Intelligence Scale for Youth and Adults features 20 items across four main domains: purpose, life and the universe, nature of reality, and collective experience. It uses a 5-point Likert scale, allowing for nuanced self reflection and analysis among youth and adults. The Existential Intelligence Scale for Children, on the other hand, is designed for children and contains five simple items formatted as yes or no questions, tailored to be developmentally appropriate and easy for younger minds to understand. Both questionnaires were crafted from a rigorous reviews of the literature with a strict focus on content, validity, clear structure, and neutrality regarding religious or mystical beliefs. They are now going through expert validation following best practices in psychometric assessment and Howard Gardner's own guidelines for multiple intelligences. What does this mean in practice? Early results show that fostering existential intelligence can have huge impacts. In schools, it boosts critical thinking, ethical awareness, and emotional resilience. In the workplace, it's linked to more conscious, ethical, and collaborative decision making. And when it comes to the environment, people with higher existential intelligence are more likely to make sustainable, responsible choices. But there are caveats. It's essential to develop and use these tools ethically, making sure they don't become instruments of exclusion, coercion, or emotional distress. Everyone's worldview matters, and any program to nurture existential intelligence must safeguard the diversity and individual well being. To wrap up, we're at the edge of a new era in the assessment of existential intelligence. With new validated tools like these questionnaires, we can finally study this vital aspect of human development with the depth and care it deserves. The next steps: large scale studies, cross cultural comparisons, and ongoing ethical reflection. Existential intelligence isn't just a fascinating concept, it's a potential cornerstone for creating more truthful, resilient, and compassionate societies. Thank you very much for seeing me with this presentation. This is the QR code of my book. If someone is interested on this, can access by here. And this is my personal email. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And may I request each and everyone to give the big hand to Flavia for such an incredible presentation in this RAMAS 2025.